Hello everyone, welcome to Art of Testing. In this video, we are going to learn about SDLC, its various phases, and some of the popular SDLC models. So let's begin. What is SDLC? SDLC stands for Software Development Lifecycle. It defines all the phases involved in the software development process, using which we can create and maintain a software application efficiently. The software development lifecycle starts with the requirement gathering phase and ends with the project deployment and the maintenance phase. Let's check the different phases of SDLC now. Requirement gathering and analysis. Requirement gathering is one of the most critical phases of SDLC. In this phase, all the business requirements are gathered from client and a formal document is created which defines the purpose of the software product. After the requirement gathering and analysis phase, we have the design specification phase. In this phase, a software design, or we can say a layout, is prepared according to the requirements specified in the previous step. Here, the requirements are broken down into multiple modules and a design document is created that is considered as the input for the next phase, which is the implementation phase. In the implementation or the coding phase, the actual development is done. The development team writes a code using different languages and platforms depending on the requirement of the project. Next comes the testing phase. After the completion of the development phase, testing begins. Here, testers test the software and provide appropriate feedback to the development team. The tester checks whether the software developed fulfills the specified requirements or not. Both functional as well as non-functional testing is performed in this phase before the final delivery to the client. Next phase is the deployment phase. After the testing gets completed, the product is handed over to the client. This phase involves making the software product live on the production environment. After this phase, the final phase is the maintenance phase. Once the software is live and operational, some maintenance may be required in order to make it operational with the changes in infrastructure, configuration, or due to other factors over a period of time. This was all about SDLC. Let's move to the final topic of this video, the different SDLC models. So depending on the project requirement, budget, criticality, and various other factors, we can choose between the different SDLC models. Here we will quickly check some of the popular SDLC models. In case you want to study them in detail, you can check our website artoftesting.com. So let's start with the waterfall model first. Waterfall model is one of the earliest model of the software development lifecycle. The different phases in the waterfall model progress sequentially downwards, resembling a waterfall, hence the name waterfall model. Once a phase of the development lifecycle gets completed, there is no way to go back to that phase again in order to correct it or make any desired change to it. Some of the advantages of waterfall model are: it is easy to understand and implement. There are specific deliverables in each phase. It is perfectly suitable for smaller projects where all the requirements are predefined. Coming to some disadvantages of waterfall model now. As this model requires freezing of requirements, hence it is not suitable for projects in which changes in requirements are possible or inevitable. A working model is only visible in the later phase of life cycle, that is after the implementation phase only. Any correction or update required in the previous phase is not possible. Let's check the iterative model now. In case of iterative model, we start with the implementation of a small set of software requirements. We use this set of requirements to develop the first version of the software. After that, we iteratively implement and incorporate new changes, resulting in the creation of new versions of the software until the complete system gets created and deployed. Some advantages of iterative model are: a working functionality can be developed very quickly. It is easier to test and develop due to smaller iterations. Customers' feedback can be incorporated easily in the newer versions. Some disadvantages of iterative model are: comparatively, more resources are required in this model. It is not advisable to use this model in smaller projects. Adherence to project deadline is very difficult because of the multiple versions due to either change in requirement or due to incorporation of client's feedback. Next comes the prototype model. In case of the prototype model, a working model of the application is created with limited functionality. This prototype is then shown to the customer to get the feedback. This helps in better understanding of the requirements. Some advantages of prototype model are customer satisfaction gets improved as they can see the working software pretty early in the initial phases. It is easier to figure out any missing requirements and incorporate them. The developed prototype can also be reused by developers in the project. Coming to disadvantages of prototype model. There can be a lack of documentation since both the development team as well as the customers rely on the evaluation and feedback of the prototype. Overall cost and time can increase due to prototype creation and evaluation. There can be an uncertainty in the number of iterations before the prototype gets finally accepted by the customer. Let's talk about the V model now. V model is also known as the verification and validation model. In this model, the testing phase goes in parallel with the development phase. As we can see in the diagram, the testing activities start in parallel with the development activities. Advantages of V model. Each phase of development is tested before moving to the next phase. Hence, there is a higher rate of success. It avoids defect leakage to the later phases as each phase is verified explicitly. The model has clear and defined steps, so it is easier to implement. Some disadvantages of V model are the testing team starts in parallel with the development team. Hence, the overall budget and resource requirement increases. Change in requirement are difficult to incorporate. The working model of software is only available in the later phase of the development. Let's talk about the spiral model now. Spiral model combines elements of an iterative model with a waterfall model. It is advisable to use this for expensive, large, and complex projects. The most important feature of this model is once the project starts, it has the ability to manage unknown risk. It has 4 stages: planning of objectives, risk analysis, engineering, and finally review. Each project passes through all these stages repeatedly. Some of the advantages of spiral model are the spiral model is perfect for projects that are large and complex. It is also best suited for critical projects like the software project related to health sector. Since customer gets to see a prototype in each phase, so there are higher chance of customer satisfaction. Now coming to disadvantages of spiral model. Because of prototype development and risk analysis in each phase, it is very expensive and time taking. It is not suitable for smaller projects because of multiple phases. Project deadline can be missed since the number of phases is unknown in the beginning. This completes our tutorial on SDLC and SDLC models. In the next video, we will study about software testing lifecycle. Thank you.